The Wells MP, James Heappey, is demanding to know why a decision was taken to close a hospital ward in Shepton Mallet when there were plenty of staff. Earlier this week, Somerset Partnership NHS Foundation Trust announced it was closing inpatient beds there and in Chard because of shortages. But the Conservative MP says the rotas were fine and thinks there should have been more consultation. Here's the CEO of the Trust, Nick Broughton.
Well, I don't think I actually said the situation at Shepton was so dire that lives would be at risk. I was talking about the situation across all our community hospitals. So we currently have about 25% of all nursing posts vacant, and that situation is just not sustainable. And that's why we've made this decision to consolidate our nursing resource.
But the Conservative MP, James Heappey, disagrees and thinks there should have been further consultation.
If there had been some discussion about this, we would have flushed out the fact that Shepton's staffing rota was fully provided for some weeks ago, and that would have enabled us to have made the case earlier that Shepton therefore should not be in Sompar's sites. So it is frustrating to be having to do this as a rearguard action. We will hopefully be able to encourage Somerset Partnership Trust to think again.
You can hear more on this coming up after 5.
Good afternoon. Now, earlier in the week, we told you the story about 2 community hospitals closing off their inpatient beds due to critical staffing levels. Shepton Mallet and Chard will instead move people to other beds in the county until at least March next year. The Somerset Partnership NHS Foundation Trust CEO Nick Broughton told us that they'd be putting lives at risk by remaining open and faced a last-minute closure over winter, which could be worse. However, today we've heard from Wells MP James Heappey, who claims staffing numbers at Shepton Mallet were actually fine.
My view is that if Shepton has been managing to staff itself properly, then a sound military principle to draw on my last career is that you reinforce success. And that says to me that Shepton should be left open, and I'm calling on the CCG and the Somerset Partnership Trust to make sure that that now happens. I fear that it is to do with underinvestment in the fabric of Shepton Mallet Hospital, and perhaps even part of a wider agenda over the future of the hospital. I won't stand for that. The fact that the hospital has been underinvested in is something that we have been campaigning for years now. I am absolutely determined that those plans for a new hospital in Shepton carry forwards, and there's no way in the world that I can stand by and watch that ward be temporarily closed when we have managed to hit all of our nursing. I think you'll see on that graph that 100% of overnight shifts have been covered by the correct number of nurses at that hospital.